Here we go once again. It's Monday afternoon. It's Barry. Hello Barry and hello viewers.
Hello viewers. It's a very nice day out today. 28 degrees in Chelsea and 82 Catherine Avenue.
Very good. So here at the central studio, we're going
number one studio.
Number one studio.
Number two studio 2's out of action at the moment. It's the number one studio.
Going to the number one studio. So we're going to talk about the cricket. We're going to talk about the tennis. And we're going to get some updates and some interesting views. But firstly, what do we got here? What would you like to point out?
This was a very important game for Panya back in the early 60s when I got Sportsman of the Week for playing a game of football. Colin was very rare up in the Women's League back in them days to get a Sportsman of the Week, which was a big trophy after the following weekend. But that was a draw, wasn't it?
Oh, that's a game that you're telling the story. It was a WFA second semi-final, Horsham versus Rapanya.
Drawn game.
Rapanya should have won. They missed a few shots there.
Yeah, I was one of the most responsible ones. They kicked 3 goals, 5 and 3 out of bounds. But that game, Colin, got me the Sportsman of the Week, which is unbelievable.
And they said that they call you Barry TNT Peatling, is that right?
TNT, what's TNT?
Or Barry Dynamite.
Oh, Dynamite, TNT, yeah, that. You're a very clever man, aren't you?
So, that's why I'm here.
Yes, the voice. But there's a bit of the stats here.
So I'll just give you a few stats while looking at the photo there.
Well, you can read out the Sportsman of the Week first.
Sportsman of the Week, clever Rapanya Rover Barry Peatling is the Mail Times and Hines Sportsman of the Week for the classy exhibition in the second semi-final. 2 things stood out that day, which was Rapanya's determination to mix it and battle hard against the strongly favoured Horsham. The second thing that stood out that day was the invaluable part played by Peatling in Rapanya's success. They called you Dynamic Rover.
Dynamite!
Oh, it says Dynamic here.
Well, Dynamic and same bloody thing.
Dynamic Rover Barry Peatling had twice hit the post. Third deliberate shot near the end drifted over the centre.
20 seconds before the game finished.
Goal post for a behind.
That was a goal. Still think it was a goal. Everyone thought it was a goal, and we would have won the game.
So you had 38 kicks.
Yeah, the stats.
11 marks.
Show the viewers.
Well, I'll tell the viewers. 38 kicks, 11 marks, 3 goals. You kicked 5 behinds for a best on ground performance.
Which is not a bad sort of nerve for a little fella. And it was a pretty sort of the first half of the ground was pretty wet. That's probably why I probably kicked a few more behind.
Bit slippery, you reckon?
But it was one of my very good games I've had in my career, and which is proof of the pudding when you get a Sportsman of the Week. People don't get they didn't get that too often back on them days, right?
No.
So there you go. That was about sort of a good effort, I thought.
Well, let's get into a topic that's close to your heart, and that's the
not
tennis.
Close to your heart. You don't like it, tennis. That's a strange one. Never mind.
Well, I don't know. Just before we get on, just very briefly, I think too much attention gets given, and before the women's livers get on my back, women's tennis. Whereas I think that I was watching women's football, women's cricket. It's far better. Yet the accolades that women's tennis get.
Listen, they're all pretty. Women's soccer, they're taking over the world, but the women's tennis, you're dead right. Some of them games they go for half an hour.
And then there's all this yelling and stuff. I just don't get it.
And I would not watch that Sharapova if you paid me.
And the biggest thing that I don't like, they say they get equal pay, but they don't get equal pay in tennis. They get more pay. Because if you're like Venus Williams or Serena Williams, you can play easily dominate and win the $1 million, and then go on the doubles, back up in the doubles, and get another $500,000. It's a joke. Anyway, so that's just my opinion. It's not my show, we know that. It's your show.
Well, you're dead right. Women's, look, anybody watches about four of them girls, they screech. They drive you mad. I mean, but all of them when they train, they don't screech when they're training. Same when they're playing. Anyway, enough said about the women's tennis.
So
get a live Sharapova and shut your mouth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, we're going to talk about someone that you like.
I do like Tomic.
How did he go? Well, I just want to reflect on the 2 opinions that you had. You said that they're both going to the second round, him and Leighton Hewitt.
No, I thought they'd go. No, I said Leighton.
Second week?
I reckon I said Leighton might get to the first week, but I did think that I didn't realise I didn't see the draw, did I? Before I made that statement, I didn't know Shredder was in the next part of the draw.
So you need to do your homework.
Well, that's probably right, but Any other player I reckon he would have beaten last night.
Leighton Hewitt, first day.
Leighton, he's just about finished.
Just about finished.
Yeah.
Okay, so
He's not a bad commentator. He's commentating last night.
just
I'm one of his old. I was his number one fan years ago. Don't get me wrong about Leighton Hewitt.
he's only 32 or something, so still got
no,
a
I
little
think
bit of time.
he just gets him over the net now. There's no winning shots now.
Well, just quickly on Stoza.
I reckon she's run a race too. I mean, she just looked like a girl. What rank was she at the moment?
Well, she's pretty high. Yeah.
She looked like playing like a 60 or 70 year old. She was just getting the ball over the net, Colin. There was no attacking at all.
She gets the yips, doesn't she?
And she had a couple of good chances to win the game, and she just cracked up and no one. It's too muscly.
Too much. Oh well, what about the Williams sisters?
No, she's been a good tennis player. Oh, she won the US Open 2 years ago, but that form has gone from her now.
So just tell us a little bit about Tomic then.
Look, I watched Tomic, not all of it. He had that second set, he was 4-1 and 5.
Federer got smacked.
And then he should have won that second set. I know it's just funny when you say he should have won it when he didn't win. It's a different story. But he was in control of that second set, and he's going to get better. He's only 20.
Yeah.
Go. He's going to be all right, and I reckon that he'll make the top 10 by the end of the year.
Was that your prediction? Top 10?
For sure. Actually, I put money on it. Probably get 20 to 1.
Even though he got smacked by...
He didn't get smacked at all.
Well, 3 sets.
The last set was 6-1 or 6-2, but the first two were pretty close, and he should have won the second set, Colin.
All right, well that's enough of Tomic. We'll have to see how he goes in this year. Now you watched the game last night between two Frenchmen.
Yep.
Well, this morning you stayed up to fill the viewers in
my bedroom.
And it was between Gilly Simon and Gail Monfils.
Monfils, and it was an extraordinary game. He finished up, he was the outsider, but I didn't realise that he's ranked in the top 20 of that Gilly's, what's his name?
Simon,
yeah, the Frenchman. He's got a very unusual dress sense, all grey for tennis, isn't it? Unusual, but he's going to be, I think he's playing, I don't think he's playing Andy Murray tonight.
Oh, that'd be a big game.
Yeah, and I reckon he'll give him a fright.
So the back-to-back.
I'm sure they said he's playing tonight, or what's today? Monday? I think he wouldn't play 2 days in a row, would he?
No, not this time of the schedule. Maybe tomorrow or something.
Well, tomorrow or something. But he's an enthralling game because that game on Tuesday.
Any rallies of note?
Oh, one rally went for 51 hits.
Wow.
51 hits, Colin. That's about half an hour.
Mm.
Now it was an extraordinary game. He come back from behind and he got up and won. He never got flustered.
So have you got any predictions for Simon?
Yes, I reckon he'll go in the top 5 for sure. And of course the other game, Djokovic.
This is Novak Djokovic and Stanislav.
And if anyone's watching the game watching the tennis game,
yeah,
and he's spitting him into David Warner.
Who is?
Stanislav, the one Djokovic plays. Stanislav.
Well, he's about 5'5".
I'm talking about his face.
Oh, just the way.
And he was well built. I've never heard of him, never seen him before, but he's ranked 12.
Sounds like someone from the Baltic states.
No, Swiss.
Oh, Swiss is he?
Yeah.
I thought, and Djokovic is from
Serbia
or something like
that.
that.
But this fella, I mean, he saved 6 match points against Djokovic, Colin,
yeah.
Which is extraordinary. And he just got run down the last 5 hours and 23 minutes. I reckon that game was the only equivalent to watching the grand final, the final last year of Djokovic and Nadal.
The problem is that it's so tough to recover from those.
I don't know how they do it. 5.5 hours, Colin,
yeah.
and it's hot in there, and some of the rallies, God, it was unbelievable tennis to watch. I mean, it's 2:15 in the morning I was watching, Colin.
Mm.
I thought I was watching a replay, but it was live.
Live.
But,
yeah, they go pretty late, don't they?
They have over the years go to 2 o'clock in the morning, but I just switched on. I didn't intend to watch it, but I just couldn't switch the TV off.
Just one more thing on the tennis before we switch over to the cricket. Who's got the fastest serve at the moment, Barry?
Give you 10 guesses. I bet you won't get it. Give you 10. I'll give you 20 guesses.
I probably wouldn't even know the tennis players. I'll just name
one.
Well,
name a few names.
I know Murray.
I'll give you
Federer.
I'll give you 1,001.
Waddell, whatever his name. I know he's playing. Okay, I give up.
Serena Williams, 207.
What,
yesterday.
including men?
Yes. So She would beat most of them men.
Don't know about that, but
She is, that game she played 6-1, 6-0.
amazing, isn't it?
But
Wow.
207.
207.
That's 150 mile an hour or something, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so. Well, there we go. That's the tennis wrap. All right, let's get on to the real stuff now. Let's have a talk about the
The
cricket.
real stuff, I wouldn't think so, Colin.
Here's an interesting thing, just before we get on the
It's
Australian
pretty good, I
game.
reckon.
New Zealand played South Africa in a one-day match. And South Africa have been smashing them everywhere, smashing them. And what happened? Oh, New Zealand bowled pretty well in the game, and they restricted South Africa to about 220 or something, right?
Yeah.
And then New Zealand came out, and the typical thing that happens with New Zealand is that everyone starts getting out,
Yeah.
right? Out,
Yeah.
and you get a couple of 20 scores, that sort of thing. And then his name's Franklin came in, and him and Kyle Mills had a bit of a partnership, and they got to 24 runs before the end of the game, and it was 9 for whatever it was, 24 behind, and then Franklin just went bash boom bam and got the runs, and New Zealand beat South Africa.
It's the first time they won for about 2 years, huh?
Yeah, so that was pretty special.
Well, you'd be happy about that, being a Kiwi.
Yeah, pretty
So
happy.
were you watching it?
Yeah, I was watching it.
Well, he hit a couple of six, did he?
No, he just hit some fours and
Touched them.
they were 9 out, and so it was unlikely, but they won. Well, what about Mitchell Starc?
I can generally pick good cricketers watching them, and I do think this fellow is going to be I thought Mitchell Johnson would be number one all around 3 or 4 years ago, but he went off the track. But this fellow's a new sensation, Mitchell Starc. He battled like at number 4 this afternoon, and he's a very good bowler, and he's actually intimidating the bowlers, you say, Colin.
He doesn't look like he's going to get out too when he's
He just looks so, all his stroke, mate, and he playing the sweeps on Neil, 2 shots on the knee, just banging it like Neil Harvey used to do 100 years ago. And he hits them hard, and he's just so cool.
Up and coming player of the year.
This is his second season or third season. Very good bowler.
Very good bowler. Now just get
Good
on
fieldsman too.
the umpires.
Well, some of them decisions, I said it before we come on out, I don't know how many of these referrals they've got now in each game for each side, but there was 2 decisions. 2 batsmen, Australian batsmen went out, the ball hit half the bat. Warner was, you see, Warner was walking off, he was going to say the in and out word, but controlled himself. He looked at the umpire, and the other fellow, who was the next one, I forget who it was, but he was the same thing. Hit the bat.
George Bailey or something like that.
Nah, was it George Bailey? No, he got caught, I think.
Yeah, you know, it's the system. They need to change the system.
Well, you've got to
Because
you've got to change the umpires. The umpires can't see.
Well, they need to put it into the third umpire. He needs to sit there and say, hang on, that wasn't out. He needs the third umpire, the TV umpire needs to say, hang on, radio down, that wasn't out. They need to change the system.
Well, they shouldn't need someone, the players to fellas up top say, right, hello, he's hit that.
Yeah.
Tell the umpire,
Because you know who stuffed it up for him under the system?
Who?
Michael Clark stuffed it for him.
Oh, he's a good
Because he referred one that was not out. So
but it was a joke, I mean.
the whole game was a joke because it rained, the rain stopped, and then they cancelled the game, and it was just really disappointing. Do something. My message to you, this is my finger here, is do something, administrators.
Well, get a life and get some brain. Get these umpires. I mean, look, that fellow, give the wicket out, Warner out, and hit this half the bat column.
He smashed it.
And sort of half, yeah.
He smashed it.
So Warner sort of standing, said, "This fell for real," and he walked off, and he was.
And the sad thing is the umpires then 1 minute later look at the replay and go, "Oh, I made the bad decision."
Yeah.
It just looks dumb.
If you're not sure, Mr. Umpire,
we got the technology.
If you're not sure, Mr. Umpire, say refer to the box without even worrying about getting referred. Just say, "Oh, can you just check it for me, okay? Because I can't hear, I can't see."
Yeah.
All right.
Some things have changed.
Get some brains, you people up top and run the cricket. Get a life.
Very good. Oh well, that's all for this week. We've covered a lot of
issues. Yeah, I get a little bit out of my system today because it was pathetic. I mean, 60 runs off 30 something. It would have made another 50. Yeah. It would have made 100 for sure.
It would have been a 250 score.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me. I'll see you next time.